Hi, I'm Corrina Gordon-Barnes, here to help you find peace in any relationship that matters to you. So one of our community said to me, I am so full of resentment at my husband. What do I do with all of this rage that's inside of me? So you may be able to relate, maybe it is your husband or maybe it's someone else in your life who you just feel full of blame and rage and resentment and irritation and disappointment about. And what do you do with all that? Well, today we're looking at 3 unhelpful things you can do with that resentment. And it's not that these are wrong, okay? This is not like they're wrong, it's just that they're unhelpful. They're not going to take you to peace. And as we're going through, just see which of these is the more familiar option for you. So the first thing that we do with blame, with resentment, is we attack the other person with it. So we'll say things like, oh, you never listened to me, or you just disrespected me, or you don't care about me. And we just attack the other person with these thoughts. And what happens in these situations, as you can no doubt know for your own experience, is that the other person defends and attacks back. So we've started a war basically. We attack, they defend, they attack, and very soon we're in an argument. It's rising. It's very, very hard to de-escalate that once the argument is in full flow. And you're just left feeling the kind of fallout of that argument. So that's one unhelpful thing to do with resentment and blame. So then we may say, right, okay, I'm into personal growth, I'm into self-development, I'm going to move beyond my blame and resentment, I'm going to be evolved and enlightened and just be peaceful with everything. And so what we do is that when that blame comes up, we suppress it. We suppress that blame and we kind of sit on that blame. So it doesn't go anywhere, we're sitting on it. And then what happens is that blame and resentment comes out in sneaky, snide, subtle ways. So we'll maybe ask a question in a very kind of mock innocent way, like, oh, did you not get the text from me saying that I would be home at this time? Or, oh, did you not see on the calendar that my mother's coming tomorrow? So we do these very passive-aggressive, snide, subtle digs at the person. So again, just catch if that's you. If you think you're doing really, really well at not letting out your blame, but actually what's happening is it's underneath you and it's like a volcano waiting to erupt. So when we keep suppressing and suppressing, first it sneaks out and then it's just there under the surface. So the smallest of things, suddenly it all comes out and then we're just back in that first option where it's all pouring out at the other person. So suppressing blame is the second thing that's not helpful to do. The third way that we deal with resentment in a way that is not helpful for us if our goal is peace is that we share blame with others. We find allies for our blame. So we'll talk to our friends and we'll say, oh, you never guess what my brother did. And we'll just share the story with them. Now at the surface that looks really healthy, right? We're sharing it and we're expressing it and it's cathartic and they're going to empathize with us. But what happens is that actually fuels the resentment because that other person is quite likely to say, oh, that's terrible. Oh, I can't believe he did that. Oh, you deserve better than that. I can't believe she's like that. And so A, it fuels it. And then B, if you then move beyond that resentment, but you're then seeing that same friend, let's say you say, oh, my brother's coming to town, and your friend will say, oh, that brother. And so they're going to just feed that old story. It actually keeps you stuck in the blame, stuck in the resentment, which is not, if you want peace, where you want to stay. So what can we do instead? These are the 3 unhelpful ways of dealing with blame and resentment. So I want to offer you a healthy alternative because blame doesn't just go away. You can't just delete it like that. Here's the healthy alternative. This is the one that actually heals you rather than harms you. You get your blame down on paper, okay? Because it's there. Rather than throwing it out, suppressing it down, or sharing it with people in a way that it just boomerangs back, you get it down on paper. You do that in a way that is private, so the person that you are feeling resentful about doesn't need to read that, they don't need to know. So it's on paper, it's private, it's thorough. So you really express all of your blame and it's uncensored. So you let yourself rip. Whatever your thoughts are about that person, you just let them onto paper. So on paper, private, uncensored and thorough, and that is the healthy alternative to blame. In other videos, I share what you then do with that. I call it the rant. So that is the rant, your healthy alternative to blame and resentment. So I'm going to leave this with you at the end of this video to think about which of those 3 unhelpful ways do you normally fall into to deal with your blame? Which of them do you fall into? And then how is that working for you? Are they helpful or are they unhelpful? Do they take you to peace or do they take you away from peace? So I wish you all the best. I wish you peace and connection with the people that are important to you. If you found this video really useful, share this with anybody that you know who would benefit. Subscribe to this YouTube channel and come over to corinagordonbarnes.com and sign up for email updates.